Okay, do you want me to? Okay, I just want to say thank you to everybody for coming online tonight. It really is a great pleasure for myself and Danny. Danny's my tutor on the BTEC program. It's really great because I know 3/4 of you guys as parents. I know your kids. Some of you I've known for a long time, 6, 7, 8 years old, and we've got some of the kids on our program already. Lorna, we've got James on our program. So I just want to hand you over to Dan. Danny is my tutor. He's going to explain the education side of the program. For me, I run the football side of the program. I do all the coaching, myself and my coaching staff. I run all the coaching, and Danny is my tutor. So Danny will be putting the boys through their BTEC. So it's short and sweet, Dan. So if I can just hand over to you, would that be okay?
Yeah, that's smashing, mate. So just want to echo really what Dean said, everyone, just thanks for coming this evening. I'll spend the next sort of 25 minutes, half an hour maximum, just running through the programme, all the units that we do, what the course entails. We are recording this session, so we will send that out to you, and you can watch it back. And if you do have any questions about anything I do say, please just save them for the end, and then we'll do a question answer session at the end of the presentation, just so we can get through everything in time. So just to start with, as Dean mentioned, this is the team that will work around your sons, daughters when they come with us in September. Okay, so like Dean said, he's kind of lead coach, head coach, working alongside Isaac Nolly, and then I front the BTEC education programme. I'm also the ACL, the assistant curriculum lead for VL UK, the company that employ me that work alongside Dean's coaching organisation. So I oversee 4 sites as well on top with my BTEC commitments as well, which again, it just makes it an all-rounded role. So in terms of the education partnership, there's 3 different compartments to that. The initial section is through Virtual Learning UK, who kind of front the BTEC programme. They're the organisation that employ me, and we provide the BTEC programme at level 3 to the sites that we work with. So in this instance, at Deano's. The second part of that sort of trio of organisations, if you like, that work in that is YMCA. So us as the education provider, we're funded through YMCA funding and training, and all the bursary support and things like that students can access comes through YMCA. So again, in terms of regulations and organisations, we are regulated by YMCA. I've been dropping my session today to make sure that things are up to scratch and obviously being delivered as they should be. And then the final part of the trio is also Deano's coaching, if you like, academy, which provides the football side of the programme. And realistically, when we work together as a 3, we like to put the student at the centre of what we do. So we come together, we ensure that we are providing high quality education and high quality sort of coaching and practical performance sessions that are combined to make the timetable for the learners throughout the week. Obviously, with it being a full timetable, Monday to Friday. In terms of YMCA's involvement, like I said, they will drop into sessions. They are there to provide the bursary support. They will come and sort of regulate the sessions that we deliver. So it is all above board. It is all legitimate. And again, VL UK at this present moment are expecting an Ofsted visit. So we are, like I said, audited across the board, just as any other college or sixth form centre would be as well. Now, the main bit why you're here tonight is the sort of full-time 2-year programme that we offer at level 3, starting in September 21. We try and run the programme and assure kind of, we can answer any questions you've got about this later on, but we try and run it as a scholarship programme, as you would see in sort of full-time professional academies. Initially, like I say, my main involvement is the BTEC Extended Diploma in Sport, coaching and development at level 3. We do offer the foundation diploma as well, which I'll explain the logistics behind qualification status later on in the presentation. But alongside that, Dean and the coaching staff offer coaching experience with the actual coaching side of Dean's business. So again, we do promote learners to actively go and get work experience alongside their programme of study to really enhance what it is they're doing so they can understand the theory being applied in the practical setting. We do have in place as well additional certifications to be delivered. So sports leaders qualifications and coaching national governing body awards as well. And again, we just do that to, if you like, provide the learner with the rounded experience. So when they leave us in 2 years' time, they've not just got the BTEC, they've also got a body of additional qualifications that can go away for future employment, higher education purposes, as well as the practical work experience settings as well. So we try and give them a full range of experiences and not just the BTEC or not just the football side of the programme as well. Pathways that follow from the course, which is, for me, from a teaching point of view, is one of the key reasons, hopefully, why you're here, is when they complete the BTEC Level 3 programme with us in 2 years' time, there's a number of pathways that the learners can progress onto. One of the ones that we're very proud of at Deano at the minute, in terms of how many students we've had gone to university study, is great. So in our first cohort that finished 2 years ago, we had over 70% gone to university study. Last year, we had over 75% going to university study. And then this year, our second year cohort we've only got 6, a small second year cohort, but 5 of those are looking to go into university study. So again, we do have very high levels of university progression onto a range of university courses, whether that's onto sports coaching, physiotherapy, sports development, sports science, etc. Okay, so we do actively push that. And we've just been fortunate enough to have our own degree programme accredited and approved to start in September 21 as well, which I'll explain a little bit later on in the presentation. So there's a full pathway. Pathways as well, the scholarships abroad. So I'll let Dean jump in a minute just to explain briefly about a experience that he's got to offer for learners, but we do offer that scholarship route abroad if learners are interested in that in a variety of places in the States. Dean, you just want to jump in quickly just to explain that bit?
Yeah, we've got a trip to America in July. Fingers crossed, we've got a trip to America in July. We're working with a partner club in New York that runs schools up and down the eastern seaboard, all the way down from New York, all the way down to Florida. The boys will go over there and just have an experience of the university or the college way of life, playing football on a scholarship over in the States. So I've got friends and contacts over in the States. So what we'll do is take some of our year 11s. We'll take some of our year 11s, some of our first and second years over to the States, just to look at the opportunities that they have, to go over to the States and study and play football. I know loads of lads that have done it. Some of the lads, have not come back, have made a life in the States, which for you parents is probably a bad thing. You want all your kids to stay at home, but some lads are really, really, really eager to go and play abroad, different lifestyle, different cultures. So we're setting up trips every single year to go to the States and have that little bit of a lifestyle over there, so the boys can experience it. And if after their college program at 18, they want to go out and study a scholarship in the States, there's the opportunity. So the lads have already experienced it. So cheers, Dan.
Super, mate. And then just to finish up on that.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. Cheers, mate. And then just to finish up on that, alongside, like I said, the other pathways, with the work experience that we do try and promote throughout the programme for learners to do, we if they don't have that intention of going to university, they may have an intention of a particular career pathway within the sports sector that is really interesting to them, higher apprenticeships and so on. So we do try and prepare all our learners, irrespective of the sort of end goal, the pathway that they want to go down, so they're ready for that next step in their sort of career and sort of progression, whether it's in education or employment. Just to bring a quick attention to the pictures on your screen, the top one is kind of one of the classrooms that we operate in. So it's fully working, plenty big enough for 22, 23 learners. We've got a full working projector, plenty of space for group work, etc., etc. So again, the facility that we've got at Birchwood, which we'll go on to a little bit later, really are state of the art. I've just mentioned this briefly, and although you're currently applying for a BTEC, so you're probably expecting why are we mentioned that university pathway already. Just to bring your attention that the BTEC that we offer is exactly the same equivalent of an A-level. So if you studied at sixth form and got A-levels, the BTEC that we offer is no different to the end credibility and sort of the weighting for university tariff points. It's exactly the same. So if you complete the full BTEC level 3 extended diploma with us, it's the equivalent of 3 A-levels. So for example, if you got D star, D star, D star, which is the highest grade that you can physically get at BTEC, on a BTEC extended diploma, 168 points, it's the equivalent of getting 3 A stars at A level. Okay, so again, it's another routine. I did a BTEC myself. The good thing, I don't want to go into too much at the minute, but the BTEC that we offer at present, there's no examinations on it. It's all in-house assessments, practical and written as well, which I'll explain a little bit later on. But the BTEC that we offer carries full credibility to university programs later on down the line, if that's where you would intend to end up. So in terms of the scholarship overview, you'll be studying and training on a vocational program. Like I said, we don't just look at the BTEC. We try and give you the holistic sort of day-to-day life of a scholar. So some days you'll be in training. Obviously, you have your matches as well. And then obviously you'll also have your study time that sort of accompanies and brings it all together. We try and run it as, like I said, a professional club industry environment. And with Dean's background, as you're all aware, it really helps us to kind of give the learners that insight into how it would be as a scholar in a professional setup. The learners buy into that, and we run it as it would do in a full-time professional football club. And that's one of the things we do pride ourselves on, that the industry environment that we offer the learners. We use the virtual e-learning platform, which I'll show you a little bit later on. And basically all the work that we do through the BTEC is uploaded via that. There's learning platform, tasks and activities on there, as well as the written assessments that the learners need to do. Training every day. Then there's also competitive fixtures. So in the AOC League, the Associate of Colleges across the whole country, we're in the Midlands region. Really, really good standard. There's also cup games in that as well. Obviously, at the minute with COVID, we have been a little bit stumped with that, but that is the league that we're in. We have fixtures all year round on top of the cup games. Dean and the coaching staff also arrange friendlies, and on top of that, VL UK have their own sort of league tournament set up as well. So the lads and the learners will be playing weekly in actual competitive fixtures and getting regular game time on top of the training sessions that they have that are scheduled. Already mentioned about work experience opportunities, but through the contacts that we have, we've got a range of obviously opportunities, not just in-house, but also external organisations as well. And we do try our best to help learners find those placements that they do wish to go into. Like I said, it helps prepare them then for future employment for university, wherever it is they intend to go after the time with us. One of the things that stands out, which Dean has invested heavily in, is the matching player analysis that we use during training and match day fixtures. So we've got tracking vests, and we've also got match filming equipment. You can see it on the bottom picture on the right hand side that the coaching staff use to film the full match. They go away, Isaac and Ollie break it down and analyse it all, and then we provide sort of analysis sessions to the learners where they can watch back their performance, analyse it. We do a group discussion on what's gone well, what hasn't gone well, how we can improve, and then also take that onto the training pitch as well. So again, just like in a professional setup, we do heavily use analysis work to underpin what we do on the training pitch in match day games as well. I mentioned the facilities. They're absolutely fantastic. We've got full use of the gym, virtual spin room, fitness studios, recovery studio, and the brand new 3G AstroTurf pitch, as well as the little mugger and the turf pitch as well, if we want to use that. So we have full run of the facility at Birchwood, and the learners have really flourished this last year in terms of having access to the full sort of run of the place. It's good not just for the sort of football side of stuff, but when we do the BTEC assessments, like I said, there is practical assessments where we have to use sort of gym-based study, etc. We can take the learners in the gym facility up to the studio and the spin room when they're doing the coaching practicals out onto the 3G, and it really allows us to really assess the learners to a high sort of quality, high standard, because they've got the facilities to do so, which stands out from a lot of other sort of BTEC scholarship programs across the county and sort of the Midlands. And on top of that, the learners, if they come with us, get a free 2-year gym membership to use the Active Nation virtual gym while they're a student with us, which again is another perk of coming with us. And again, quite a few of the learners take us up on that, and they use the gym in their own time, as well as obviously in the time when they're on site with us. So with the new BTEC, it's the BTEC Level 3 Extended Diploma in Sports Coaching Development. It came out in 2019, so it's brand new. It's the first time it's the first year this year that we're sort of delivering this on site. As I mentioned, the diploma is worth 1.5 A levels. The extended diploma is worth the full 3. We offer everyone the extended diploma, but if someone is looking to leave early, whatever, we try and negotiate that later down the line. But everyone gets enrolled to the full extended diploma in sports coaching development. Some of the units you do, careers in the sport and active leisure industry. I've just finished this unit with the current first years. It's a really good way of engaging the learners with careers in sport. If they're not too sure when they come to us where they want to go after the programme, we really look in detail at different careers that are available to them within the sports sector. Some of the jobs they've not even considered or thought about, and it requires a lot of in-depth sort of research into these different careers, how legislation impacts on these career roles, etc. And then a really good part of that unit is we did it just before Christmas. The learners have to heavily involve themselves and apply for a job within a sports organisation, and actually be involved in the full interview process, attend on the day, get off the job, etc. And again, it's a really good sort of career point for learners if they've never wrote a CV before or never attended an interview prior to coming to us. It really gives them some life skills as well that they can take away. Health, wellbeing and sport, developing coaching skills. If I just slide some of the others up. So you can see there's a full sort of breadth of units that we cover. We do 12 in total across the 2 years. Some are mandatory that have to be done, and the optional ones on top need to be completed, but obviously we get to choose those units that we do. So for example, the school sport delivery unit, if we've got any learners that are thinking potentially about good PE teachers, again, that unit would be really beneficial for them to understanding the national curriculum for PE, learn how to sort of deliver physical education sessions in schools and primary schools and so on. For those that are looking more physiotherapy, anatomy, physiology, sports injuries units, again, will be on there that we study and are really relevant, for those learners that are wanting to go those career roles. We've got things like developing coaching skills and applied coaching skills, looking at developing coaching staff and skill sets with that. So again, we've got a full breadth of units. That's one of the really good things about the BTEC, that we cover a lot of areas within the sports sector that will or may pique interest for learners. So we don't particularly force them all down one route, which again is one of the things that we really like about this new BTEC as well. The other good thing about the BTEC itself is, unlike A levels where you have your end assessed grade, excuse me, with the BTEC we can almost manage the grade as the learners go through. So if there's particular units they're really strong in, say anatomy and physiology, for example, they might really push themselves for a distinction grade, and a unit that they may struggle in, such as nutrition, they might really work hard, get a merit, but it won't affect their overall grade because we can balance it out across the course, providing that the grades on average are distinction merit standard. So again, we can work with learners, manage the grade as they go, and also the good thing is the learners can see what grades they're achieving as they complete their assignments, so they can almost track their own progress. And you, as parents from home, can also see the progress that learners are making as they go through the course. The current timetable that the learners are working to, and again, this is potentially may change, but it has stood like this for the past couple of years. So on a Monday morning, all the learners are in training with the coaching staff from 9 till 12. Then they have lunch. And then usually in the afternoon, there's the second training session put on. And for those learners which need to do GCSE maths or English again, so those learners that unfortunately don't achieve those at school, will sit them with us. They'll have the opportunity to retake those with us next year, which is great because they can work again towards that grade 4. That's built into the timetable. So maths and English. And we've got a couple of learners working on those at the minute that are working well towards grade 4. On a Tuesday, again, training in the morning. And then on a Tuesday afternoon, sometimes we put in an additional training session. But a lot of the time, we allow the learners to have individual study time to work on assessments. So maybe go to the gym, do some individual sort of training that maybe one of the coaches told them to do, etc. Same for the Wednesday morning, and then Wednesday afternoons is the match day fixture. So whether it's home or away, depending on what time the learners have to be on site if they're having to get the coach to any away fixtures. And then Thursday and Friday presently are with me doing the BTEC programme, and then we also do the tutorial session as well on a Thursday. So it's a full timetable. The learners are Monday to Friday, but there is the 2 full days of study at the end of the week. If for whatever reason it says at the bottom there's no match day fixture, the learners will usually be invited in to take part in a light training session to facilitate the change or no fixture. So alongside the study program, one of the main things that we use to allow the learners to kind of do well on their program is the platform called SportsBrain. It's our virtual platform that we use for VL UK. It's central to what the learners do. Okay, so we can monitor attendance and punctuality through that, and behaviour. All the units that the learners will do throughout the 2 years are on the platform. And on the platform, there's learning tasks and activities that the learners can log on to carry out additional learning outside of their classroom. All their assignments that they do, they upload to this platform as well. The tutorial program we do through this platform. So it's very central to what we do. So in class, we use our PowerPoint presentations, learning sheets, etc. I'll upload those to the Google Drive, and then the learners go away and work on additional tasks that are set on SportsBrain. And it's a really good way for them to carry on the learning outside the classroom because they can access this anywhere. So when they're at home, they can log on and do some work. And again, you as parents, carers, can just ask the learner to log on at home, and you can see their attendance, punctuality, what grades they've got. It tracks it all for them, and it's all visual right in front of you. Do a good thing about the platform is there's links on there to the VL UK safeguarding officer. So should the learners have any issues that they don't necessarily want to raise with us as site staff, they can go and contact the VL UK safeguarding officers to raise any issues, concerns that they may have. And again, that's we pride ourselves on that way in terms of safeguarding the learners and making sure their interests are close to heart. And lastly, it's a good way of communicating between staff and students. Although we have work emails through the scholarship programme, we can also communicate to learners through the SportsBrain. So it's another method for us to contact learners about attendance, about lack of work or good pre-study work, etc., etc. Just briefly to see if we've got SportsBrain open. So SportsBrain, hopefully you can see my screen. It looks slightly similar for me as a member of staff, but the students are always similar in terms of how it looks for them. So they can log on here, and if I just show you a typical unit just so you can get the idea.
Danny, we're still seeing the presentation page rather than the website. Perhaps just need to share a different window.
Is it sharing now, the new one?
No.
No, it's
not on my machine.
What about now?
No, it's still
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there we go. Slight technical glitch. Yeah, so in terms of the SportsBrain page, the learners, when they log on, we'll see these units. These are the units that we're working on at present. Unit A that we've just finished. If you just open it up, it gives the aim, purpose, the instruction for the unit, how many guided learning hours are expected for that unit, and then the free assignments at the bottom. So if we just go on to assignment 1, and within this assignment, you've got the criteria that's linked to that assessment and all the additional learning activities that I mentioned a minute ago that the learners can work on outside of the classroom. So although we'll deliver all the content in the classroom, do activities, do tasks, do extensions, etc., outside of the classroom, I'll direct them to these to kind of enhance that learning process and make sure that they fully understand what it is we've discussed. And at the end, there's their assessment task that's linked to every assignment, and it just breaks down exactly what they need to include in that piece of work, and this is where they upload it, etc., and all the marking is done through. So again, it's extremely central to what the learners do on a day-to-day basis. with us. Just briefly, I don't want to dwell on this too much, but it's something that we're really proud of, having just secured the bid for it and kind of been approved to run the degree programme starting in September 21. So this is something I've taught previously as well at a previous site. It's the BTEC HNC HND Sport and Exercise Science. Okay, so in September, when the new cohort arrive with us to do the degree programme, and again, this is a fantastic pathway for the learners, so they can stay with us on top of the BTEC programme, so they can finish the 2 years with us and then carry on to degree study in an environment that they're comfy with. They can still play the football, smaller cohort, much more support from a tutor, and again, have the opportunity to have a full level 6 Bachelor of Science of Honours in Sports Coaching coming under the 3-year degree programme. So we split over 3 years, level 4, level 5, level 6. And the good thing about the degree is, unlike a university, if you drop out at the end of the first year or the second year, you still come out with a qualification. So it's just something that the learners need to be aware of, or can be aware of, while they're studying the BTEC rules. It gives them another goal, another qualification to progress onto with us and extend their stay. And by doing the level 3, it sets the foundations for what they'll study on the degree programme with us, which again really puts them at an advantage if they are thinking about university and they want to stay in an environment that they're used to, the staff, etc. The degree programme is delivered on-site by specialist staff who are fully qualified within the subject area. So my own degree specialism is sports coaching and development with exercise science. And again, this is kind of my forte in terms of my delivery expertise and what I went to university for to do my own training in. The degree is validated and accredited through the University Centre of Colchester. That's who we operate. So VLUK and UCC operate to deliver the degree on site, but the actual degree itself is accredited through University of East Anglia. So a full qualified, recognised university where you do the full 3 years with us up to level 6. You'll have the opportunity to go and graduate, come out with a degree programme, Bachelor of Science with honours, just as you would at any other university centre up and down the country. So it's not a degree that says Deano's Pro Soccer on, it's a degree from University of East Anglia that we just offer on site and deliver on site. Some of the study units on that include fundamentals of sport and exercise psychology, anatomy and physiology, coaching, performance analysis, talent ID and development. So again, there's a full breadth of units and there is more than that across the few years with us, but that's the example of the units that we do and offer. It just gives the learners, again, a breadth of experience across a variety of units. There's also a work experience unit built into the degree programme, just like at level 3, where we'd expect learners, especially at degree level, to be doing at least 1 day a week voluntary work in a setting that appeals to them, working with us, coaching the BTEC learners possibly, carrying out analysis work, etc., etc. So the education pathway at Deano's, so starting at year 1, which is hopefully where you're going to come in September 20, this year, September 21, when you join with us, carry on to level 2, onto the second year, and then onto the BTEC right through to the full Bachelor of Science with Honours in Sports Coaching. So you could be with us for 5 years if you choose to be, and if you like us enough, which I'm sure hopefully you will do. So a bit about the performance experience. As I mentioned already, it's an integrated coaching and playing programme. So there is regular coaching sessions, regular match day fixtures. The sessions are provided by qualified coaches and also an ex-professional footballer. So again, they've been there, they've experienced it, they've got the know-how of what works, what doesn't work. And again, the sessions are tailored to the learners that we're working with. Designed to follow best practice, so there's rest days included, technical training and tactical training, as well as the coaching staff putting learners on specialised training programs, like I said earlier, for going into the gym, working on maybe increasing strength or particular elements of their actual game that needs to be improved. And again, they'll put a program together to help with that. Competitive fixtures in the AOC League across the whole of the East Midlands. So we're not just talking half an hour down the road. Some clubs, teams that we play against are a couple of hours away, so that we do have to travel. cup fixtures against teams. And like I said, we're based at Active Nation Birchwood at Lincoln. So again, it's a really good facility and allows us to, compared to our previous sort of facility that was at before, thrive and do what we want to do and really give the learners a positive experience and allow them to thrive, whether it's in the football sense or academic as well. And these are just some pictures, as you can see. So a couple of training. On the top row, you've got the gym, the gaming, obviously the lads in the studio. And at the bottom, you've got a couple on the pitch and then the one in the spin room, again, which is absolutely, if you've not had the chance to go in, if you ever do come on site, I would strongly advise going to have a look at that room. It is absolutely unbelievable. When the music's blaring out, it blows your mind. It's brilliant. So just final few slides, just to kind of put your mind at rest. Like I said already, we don't just deliver sessions willy-nilly and just do what we want. All the sessions that I deliver on site are quality assured. They are closely linked and followed, like I said earlier, by YMCA and the UK. So my management team drop in and out of sessions. They come and visit site to make sure that we are doing what we should be doing. And like I said, towards the start of the presentation, VL UK are expecting a Ofsted visit very soon. And again, it's just to make sure that everything is above board and we are doing as we should be. I said it a couple of minutes ago, the coaching sessions delivered by qualified coaches. So again, you're not just having sessions delivered by people that haven't been there, experienced, that have got the qualifications. We have got qualified additional sort of personnel in place. And then for the additional support, if learners need bursary support, there's applications available through VL UK and through YMCA where learners can get a set amount of money per week based on household income to help them with studies. That might be travelling to the site, it might be for dinner, it might be for buying the kit, it might be for purchasing a laptop or going on a trip, etc. So there is bursary support available. University applications, Neil Holdridge, he is a designated person at VL UK who works with the learners for learner experience. And again, we also help on site for UCAS applications, making sure learners are supported with like personal statements and things, amongst others. And then we do offer IAG, information, advice and guidance as well, to ensure learners have a rough idea of where, when they finish with us at the end of the 2 years, where they want to go, like I said, staying with us to carry on with a degree, whether that's to go to university, either apprenticeships or straight into employment. But we tend to make sure learners have a rough idea when they leave us where they are going, and they're not just leaving, not knowing the next destination, if you like, or step in the journey. So who should apply? Young people with a strong interest in playing and coaching football, young people with a desire and passion to play football to their highest possible level. And again, one thing I did want to include, that you do need to have the 5 GCSEs grade 4 and above, including maths and English. However, if you do miss out on the 5 GCSEs, we will still assess your application. We've got learners this year who fell under that entry requirement and they've come on board, and we just review performance at the start of the program to make sure that it's right for them. And again, like I said, if you miss out on English or maths, you'll have the opportunity to retake those during your time with us to try and get that grade 4, which again is great if you can for future employment purposes as well. One of the things I do want to stress, and we are aware that one of the big pulling points is the football for the learners when they come to us, but we do see the course very much 50-50 with the football and the BTEC education. So if learners aren't handing in assignments or turning up to lessons, they don't train or play. And we've done that as a consequence since day one, and it's worked really well, and learners buy into all aspects of the programme and make sure they are attending and communicating with us if they are struggling or anything like that. And again, young people who would like a career in sport as well. Doesn't necessarily have to be in football, doesn't have to be in coaching. Like I said earlier, it can be in an whole range of career pathways for physiotherapy, sport development, nutrition. It might be sports rehabilitation. It might be sports coaching, might be sports journalism, etc., etc. Okay, but as long as they want a career in sport, we are the right place for them to come in Lincoln. just want to say thank you for listening, and thank you for giving up your time on a Thursday evening. And if there is any questions, please feel free to ask.